This video introduces the network settings of the video switcher HVS-190. First, look at the rear of HVS-190's main unit and HVS-190 OU. To OU is a port for OU communication. Use LAN cable supplied with the product to connect it to the port to MU on HVS-190 OU side. HVS LAN is a port for connecting the auxiliary panel and the HVS-490 series operation unit. EXT LAN is a port for communicating with GUI, auxiliary panel, and third party. Use this port for TSL communication and VDCP connections. IP address is then changed to match the system being deployed. This time, we will configure the settings for the web GUI. Go to System, Ethernet, and select EXT LAN with F1. Set the desired value on pages 1 to 3. Press F2 to move and turn to change the value. After changing, follow the pop-up and restart the MU. Set the IP address of the PC to the same network segment as the EXT. Start a browser and enter the IP address of the EXT in the address bar. Google Chrome is recommended as the browser. Enter your user ID and password when the login screen appears. The connection to the unit is successful if the indicator in the top right corner of the web panel lights up green. This video introduces the format settings of HVS-190. Set the video format according to the video format of your system. Go to System, Format, and press F1 to select the video format. Set the Genlock format according to the Genlock format of your system. Go to System, Reference I/O, and press F1 to select the Genlock format. After changing the setting, follow the pop-up and restart the MU. This video introduces the input-output setup of HVS-190. The input ports of HVS-190S are shown here. 8 inputs as standard. Change the signal name for each input. Go to Setup, Input, Name. F1 selects the input source number. F2 and F3 allow you to change the signal name with up to 4 characters for short and up to 8 characters for long, respectively. Press F2 or F3 to highlight the first character. Rotate to select any character and press again to move to the next character selection. When the last character has been changed, the signal name is confirmed. The signal name can also be changed using in the web GUI. Setup, Name. The name can be changed using the keyboard. HVS-190 is equipped with frame synchronizers for all inputs. In Setup, Input, Signal, you can set the on-off of FS for each input. HVS-190 has 4 SDI outputs as standard, including 1 PGM output, 3 auxiliary outputs, and 1 HDMI output. Select the auxiliary output video. First, select from the OU buttons. Assign Preview to Auxiliary 1. Press Auxiliary 1 while holding down the Auxiliary Select button. Press Preview on the key Auxiliary bus. Assign in 02 to Auxiliary 2. Press Auxiliary 2 while holding down the Auxiliary Select button. Press 2 on the key Auxiliary bus. Next, select Output from the menu. Go to Setup, Output, Auxiliary. Press F1 to select Auxiliary channel. Press F2 to select the source to be assigned to Auxiliary. When Inhibit is set to On, changing the auxiliary assignment by pressing the control panel buttons is disabled. The next step is to select the signal to be assigned to HDMI output. HDMI output of HVS-190 supports UHD output. When the UHD output mode is switched on, 4 HD images are combined and output. There are 4 crosspoints out 1 to 4 in the HDMI crosspoint menu. Out 2 to 4 are enabled when UHD mode is on. When UHD mode is off, the video selected for out 1 is output to HDMI. This time, we will output multi-viewer to HDMI. Go to Setup, Output, HDMI. Select MV1 in out 1. Multi-viewer will be outputted to the monitor to which HDMI is connected. On page 2, you can switch the UHD output mode on or off, select the audio to output via HDMI and select the color range of the signal using color space. When UHD mode is set to on, the HD signals out 1 to 4 selected in page 1 are combined and output as a single UHD signal. In Audio Select, use F2 to select the video signal with audio superimposed that you want to output to HDMI and F3 to select the audio channel to output. HVS-190 can output 2 audio channels to HDMI. Color space allows you to change the color range output over HDMI to suit the monitor used. The following section describes the multi-viewer setup. Go to Setup, Output, MV. You can also jump directly to the multi-viewer menu by double-clicking the MV button on the key Auxiliary bus. Page 1 allows you to select the split pattern, switch the split border on or off, and select the audio to be used for the MV output. Page 2 allows you to select the source to be displayed on each screen. Select the signal to be used in the tally and select on Off for the audio level meter. Page 3 to 4 allows you to set the title for each screen. Page 5 allows you to set the safety marker settings. Page 6 allows you to set the tally settings. Page 7 allows you to set the border color settings. This video introduces how to set up the HVS-190 control panel. This part of HVS-190 OU is the bus button. Set up the OU. Go to Setup, Panel, Bus Assign. Assign still 1 to 2 to bus buttons 4 and 5. Press F1 to select 04 of LV1. Press F2 to select still 1. Assign to button 5 in the same way. The LV1 and LV2 of the button item can be selected by assigning the Shift button to a bus button and pressing it to select the signal assigned to the LV2 side. By utilizing the Shift button, up to 22 signals can be controlled from the buttons on the control panel. This video introduces transition and CG wipe of HVS-190. To begin, here is an introduction to the buttons used in transitions. Fader performs manual transitions. Cut button transitions with cut. Auto button executes the transition at the set transition rate. Next transition is the bus selection for executing transitions with fader, auto, and cut. Transition type is the transition type selection for the bus selected in next transition. Direction sets the direction of the transition. This is followed by an introduction to cut and mix transitions. Select background in the next transition section and perform the cut transition with the cut button. In the same way, select key 1 in the next transition section and press the cut button to put the key on the video with cut. Select background in the next transition section and the mix button in transition type and press auto to perform the mix transition. It is also possible to switch with the fader. In the same way, select key 1 in the next transition section and press the auto button to place the key on the video in the mix. Next is the wipe transition. Select background in the next transition section and double-click the wipe button. Press F4 to select the transition pattern. Web GUI allows you to list and select transition patterns. Press the auto button to switch the video with the selected wipe pattern. It is also possible to switch with faders. In the same way, select Key 1 in the next transition section, double-click the white button, select a pattern and press the Auto button to place the key with the selected white pattern. Finally, CG Wipe. Today, we will set up this CG Wipe pattern. Press the menu. Wipe button in the keypad section to display the wipe menu. On the first page, turn Enable on. Select the still channel you want to use for CG, and select the graphic you want to use with Clip Select. Press F3 to display the file name of the clip stored in VRAM, and select any file. Go to page 2 and set the playback time of the graphic in duration to the number of frames in the file selected in page 1. In Keyer, select the keyer to be used for CG playback. HVS-190 has one dedicated CG Wipe keyer channel in addition to Key 1 and 2. This allows CG Wipe to be used while retaining 2 keyer systems for logo and PNP. Delay specifies the delay time between the start of CG playback and key being switched on. With Transend, select whether the key of the graphic is to be kept on at the end of the transition. Go to page 3 and set the transition settings in background. In Trans Type, select the transition type from Mix and Wipe. In Delay, set the delay time between the start of CG playback and the start of Mix, Wipe. In Rate, set the rate of the background transition. Set to 60 if the system format is 1080 progressive, or 30 if the system format is 1080 interlace. In Fader, select the type of fader link. Select Background in the next transition section and Wipe in Transition Type. Press Auto to switch the video in CG Wipe. We will run CG Wipe on another clip file. Press Menu. Wipe to go to the CG Wipe menu again. Web GUI allows CG Wipes to be displayed as thumbnails for selection. This video introduces the still and clip of HVS-190. First, we will explain the file formats supported by HVS-190. The details of the various file formats are as shown below. In addition to the frame memory for each input, Still 1 and Still 2 still image memory and video memory, the HVS-190 has VRAM for temporary storage of image and video data, which can automatically back up data loaded or captured in the frame memory and Still 1 and Still 2 memory. VRAM can also be used to load image and video data from the VRAM into the frame memory and still memory of each input. Data can be also saved directly from VRAM to USB and loaded from USB to VRAM via the file menu using a USB memory stick. Data in VRAM is volatile, so data will be lost on reboot. The optional SSD is non-volatile and can back up still and movie file from Still 1 and Still 2, and automatically upload them to each channel at startup. USB memory is used to load image files. Please prepare the image file to be loaded in advance. Press Menu. File to display the file menu. Press F1 to select Load. If an optional SSD is mounted, press F4 to select SSD. Press F1 to go to the File Load menu. Turn F1 to select Still in Type. Turn F2 to select where to load the image file. Turn F4 to select the image file to be loaded and press F4 to start loading. When a beep sound is heard, loading is complete. Next, we will explain the rules for clip files. Prepare a folder with sequentially numbered files of still images. Please note that there are naming rules for folders and each file. Folder names can be up to any 16 characters. If the name is longer than 16 characters, the 17th and subsequent characters will be truncated as they cannot be displayed on the HVS-190. File names, like folder names, can be up to 16 arbitrary characters long. After the hyphen, add the serial number of each file, starting with 0000. Press Menu. File to display the file top menu. Press F1 to select File Directory. Press F1 to select Clip for type. And F2 to select Create Clip. Press F3 to select a folder of sequentially numbered files and press F3 to open the folder. Press F2 to beep and generate a clip list file in the folder. Without the clip list file, the image folder will not be recognized by the HVS-190 as a clip file, so be sure to perform this clip list generation process for the first clip data you load. Next, load the clip. Press Menu. File in the keypad section to display the file menu. Press F1 to select Load and press F1 to move to the File Load menu. Press F1 to set type to clip. Press F2 to select the clip channel to load. Press F3 to select the clip folder to load. Select Clip List in the folder and press F3 to start loading. When a beep sound is heard, loading is complete. Finally, copy the still image data from VRAM to in01. Open the Still menu and turn F1 to go to the VRAM menu. Turn F1 to select Still, turn F2 to select in01, and turn F3 to select a still image on VRAM. Press F2 or F3. A beep sounds and the selected still image is displayed in in01. The still image or movie on VRAM is loaded to Still 1. Press Menu. Still and turn F1 to go to the VRAM menu. Press F1 to select the format to load from Still and Clip. Press F2 to select Still 1 and F3 to select Still or Video on VRAM. Press F2 or F3. A beep is heard and the selected still image or video is loaded to still 1. This video introduces key and FLEXaKEY of HVS-190. First, we will explain the key types on HVS-190. There are 3 key types that can be used with ME key. The first is the luminance key. This is also called a self key. The second is a full key. This performs picture-in-picture. The third is a bus key, which is used by inputting a fill key signal from an external source. Next, we will explain key setup. This time, key 1 of Me1 will be used. The key assignment buttons are located in the upper row of the bus row on the control panel. Double tapping the button acts as a shortcut to open the key setup menu. To access from the keypad, press the menu button, then any key button. This time, we will set up the bus key. Create a bus key using the fill signal image and the key signal image. Press F1 to select Insert Source, and press F1 or the Page Down button. Key 1. Insert Source menu appears. Turn F1 to select Bus for the type item and select Bus key. Press F2 to select the signal used for key insert in the insert item. Press F3 to select the signal used for the key source in the source item. Press the Key 1 Trans button on the control panel to confirm that Key 1 is engaged. HVS-190 offers 2 ChromaKey generation methods. CK Mix is a method of creating a composite image without using a keyer. The ChromaKey background image is fixed. Keyer Mix is a method of combining with background video using key 1 to 2 or FLEXaKEY 1 to 4. First, explain how to set CK Mix. Switch the cross point of the output video to CK Mix to display the ChromaKeyed composite video. Assign CK Mix to button 10. Open the Setup panel. Bus Assign menu. Press F1 to select button 10. Press F2 to select CK Mix. Press button 10 in the preset row to display the ChromaKeyed image on the preview screen. Then, the preview video is displayed on the auxiliary output. Press CK in the Select Keypad section to display the CK menu. Open the Auto CK menu. Press F1 to select the signal used for ChromaKey. Press F2 to select the video used for background. Go to page 2 and press F4 to change cursor to on to enable the cursor display. The ChromaKey image is displayed in front of the preview screen and the cross cursor appears. The current cursor coordinates are displayed in the position X and Y fields. Move the crosshair cursor over the hollowed out color by moving the joystick back and forth, left and right. To fine-tune the position, press F1 and F2 to move the crosshair cursor. When selecting a color, specify a darker or darker area. This makes later adjustments easier. Press F3 to select sample 1 and press F3 to generate a ChromaKey. Turn cursor off and make the crosshair cursor disappear. You have now created a chroma keying using CK Mix. Next, we will explain how to set up Keyer Mix, which uses key 1 for chroma keying. Select a background signal on the program bus. Press key 1 in the Select Keypad section to open the menu. Open the Insert Source menu. Press F1 to select bus. Press F2 to select CKF. Press F3 to select CKK. Press the key 1 button at the bottom right of the control panel to display key 1 on the program and preview screens. We will now display a preview image on the auxiliary output. Press CK in the Select Keypad section to display the CK menu. Open the Auto CK menu. Press F1 to select the signal used for FLEXaKEY. From then on, FLEXaKEying is performed in the same way as for CK mix. In Keyer Mix, the crosshair cursor is also displayed on the program output when the program out item in page 1 is switched on. This is all about chroma keying with Keyer Mix. The FLEXaKEyer has 3 color sample memories. If the back color is uneven, you can specify a color in 3 places and generate a FLEXaKEy with 3 color information. In this example, we will use 2 color samples. Display page 3 of the Auto CK menu. Press F1 to change the number of samples used into 2. Go to page 2. Press F3 to select sample 2 for select. Display the cursor and use the joystick to select the place to hollow out and generate a FLEXaKEy as before. The color of sample 2 is determined and a FLEXaKEy is generated with the color of the sample 1 and sample 2. Operate in the same way when using 3 samples. We will move on to how to set up FLEXaKEY. Select the output destination for FLEXaKEY 1 to 4. Press the Menu or Setup button and select Key DVE in the Setup menu. Go to page 3 of the Key DVE menu. Select the output buses for FLEXaKEY 1 to 4 respectively. There is a FLEXaKEY assignment button at the top of the OU. Double-tap the FLEXaKEY assignment button or press the menu or any FLEXaKEY button on the keypad to display the FLEXaKEY assignment menu. Setup of FLEXaKEY is the same as key 1 to 2. the FLEXaKEY menu can now be displayed. Finally, key priority. You can change the layer settings of key 1 to 2 and FLEXaKEY. Set the layer settings for key 1 to 2. Open key 1 priority menu or key 2 priority menu. Specify the top and bottom of the layer. Next, set the layer settings for FLEXaKEY 1 to 4. Open the FLEXaKEY 1 priority menu. Change the layer. You can change the top and bottom of the layer like this. This video introduces DVE of HVS-190. DVE is used to create a picture-in-picture. We will use key 1 for this demo. Double-tap key 1 button to display key 1 menu. Display DVE position, size menu. Turn F4 to switch line DVE to on. Adjust the size and position of key 1 by turning F1, F2, and F3, or using joystick. As you go through the menu, you will find menus to adjust angles, add borders, and more. This video introduces the event function of the HVS-190. The switcher can save the setting status as data. This function is called event memory. Use the keypad section to save and recall events. Up to 100 events can be stored in the memory. We will save this picture-in-picture created in key 1 to an event. Press the Event button in the keypad section and turn F1 to select the page. Press the Store button. F1 selects the item to be saved. This time, we will save the key 1 setting. Turn F2 to switch data to on. Press buttons 0 to 9 to save the event. Next, we will load saved events. Press the Event button in the keypad section and turn F1 to select the page. Select a saved event with the buttons 0 to 9. It is recalled by pressing Recall. When Direct in the Event menu is turned on, the call can be made simply by selecting a number without pressing the Recall button. This video introduces the sequence function of the HVS-190. Sequence is a function that allows each continuously transitioning parameter to be saved as a step and recalled in a single operation. Up to 20 steps per bus can be stored in a single sequence memory. Up to 30 sequences can be stored. Sequences are created using the Web GUI. This time we will create a sequence in which the key 1 moves clockwise. Click Sequence in the menu window to display the sequence menu. Open Control. Group 1 tab. Click on Key 1 in Group 1 Select to add the Key 1 bus to Group 1. Click New in Group 1 Step Edit to create a new sequence. Go to the Background Key or menu and open Line DDE tab in Key 1 to resize Key 1. Click Add in Group 1 Step Edit to add the current setting to the step. Go to the Background Key or menu and change the Key 1 position on the Key 1 Line DDE tab. Click Add to add a step. Repeat these actions to move Key 1 and add steps. Clicking the Group 1 Playback button in Control moves Key 1 on the screen. Next, adjust the transition interval between steps. The default is 30 frames, but this time we will change to 15 frames to move. Select one in current step. Set step duration to 15. Repeat these actions to change the duration of each step. When the playback button for Group 1 is clicked in Control, Key 1 on the screen moves through each step over 15 frames. As the created sequence will be lost when the unit is turned off, save the sequence in the memory. This time, we will save the sequence of Key 1 to sequence number 04. Open File. Store tab in the Sequence menu. In the Select bus, click Key 1 to turn it on. Click 0 in the page. Click sequence number 04. Click Store Execute to save. Next, we will load saved sequences. Open File. Recall tab in Sequence menu. Click 0 in the page. Click sequence number 04. If Direct is on, the sequence is called at this point. In the Select bus, click Key 1 to turn it on. Click Recall Execute to recall the sequence. Go to Control tab and click the Play button on Group 1 to play the saved sequence. This video introduces macro function of the HVS-190. Macro is a function that allows multiple operations to be saved and recalled in a single operation. Up to 100 macros can be stored. One operation is called an action. Up to 30 actions can be registered for number 00 to 89. And up to 100 actions can be registered for number 90 to 99. Use number 90 to 99 due to the large number of actions when recording fader or joystick operations. This time, we will create a macro to enlarge key 1 placed in the lower right corner. We will record the operation in number 00, page 0, button 0. Press the macro button in the keypad section. Select 0 for page in the menu, shown on the display. Press Store on the keypad to start recording. Perform the operation on the control panel to record in the macro. Press Store to exit recording. Press button 0 in the keypad. Use the macro edit menu to adjust the execution interval of each action, since each operation is recorded in real time. Press the macro button in the keypad section and turn F1 to select the page. Press the number buttons 0 to 9 to open the macro recall menu. Select the action for which you want to change the duration and turn F2 to adjust it. Duration can also be entered by pressing F2 and keypad. Moving on to page 2, you can name the macro you have created. HVS-190 can prefix the action time to 10 frames, for example, and have it recorded. If rec duration in macro menu in page 4 is set to normal, the data is recorded in operation time. Enter a number, and each action will be recorded with that number of frames. You can also change the duration of each action to load a macro. Next, we will recall saved macros. Press the macro button in the keypad section and turn F1 to select the page. Press the number you just saved and press Recall to recall the saved macro. HVS-190 can pause on certain actions. This time, we will edit key 1 to pause when it is expanded. First, switch direct mode to off. Press the number buttons on the keypad to display the macro recall menu. Select an action number in Action Number and turn on Break. Press the number button and then press the recall button to pause at the chosen action number. Press the number button again to release the pause and resume macro playback. This video introduces NDI support of HVS-190. NDI input and output is supported by incorporating the HVS-NIF option board into the HVS-190. Up to 3 optional boards can be installed in the HVS-190S and up to 2 in the HVS-190i. Each HVS-NIF board enables NDI for inputs and 2 outputs with media over IP. Set up the LAN 1 and LAN 2 ports on the HVS-NIF board. Press the Menu Setup button on the keypad section to open the setup menu. Press F1 to select EXTIF in the setup menu. Go to NIF Network and press the Page Down button to open the NIF IP address menu. Press F1 to select LAN port. Press F3 to change the IP address to the desired value. Press F3 to switch the octet whose value is to be changed. Set the value of the first to third octets to the same value as the address of the device to be connected. Set the value of the fourth octet to a value different from the address of the device to be connected. Press F3 to confirm the IP address. Follow the same procedure for netmask and gateway on pages 5 to 6. The DHCP client TTL settings are on page 7 and should be changed if necessary. Make sure that the IP addresses of LAN 1 and LAN 2 are not the same network address. Assign the signal received by the NDI as an input to the switcher. Note that the input number is slot dependent. In this example, the NDI video is implemented in slot C and the name NDI device F1TRA0015 is assigned to in 17. As with the network settings, go to Menu, Setup, EXTIF, NIF menu and select the Input menu. Press F1 to select in 17. Press F2 to display the source list. Press F2 to select the input and press F2 to confirm. The NDI video is input to in 17. If group name is set in page 1 in the setup, EXTIF, NIF, network menu, only NDI material belonging to the same group will be displayed in the list. In setup, EXTIF, NIF, network menu page 7 TTL, you can set the number of seconds before disconnecting after the NDI has lost response. To reflect the setting, reconnect the NDI. You can select whether to output a red-green tally for each NDI input signal. Open Setup, EXTIF, NIF, Input menu page 2, and select the input signal with F1. Turn Tally on. The NDI signal name can be reflected in the switcher's input signal name. Select the name to be used from device name and channel name in Name Link in Setup, EXTIF, NIF, Input menu page 2. Check the NDI input status. Open the Setup, Status, HVS-NIF menu, page 3. Select the slot to be checked in slot. If NDI video is successfully received, the NDI format is displayed on channel 1 to channel 4. Connecting HVS-190 to a remote camera over a LAN to perform PTZ and preset operations. Set the network settings using page 4 to 6 in the setup, EXTIF, NIF. Network menu. Assign the camera's NDI input signal to the switcher's input in Setup. EXTIF. NIF. Input menu page 1. Open the Setup. EXTIF. Camera. System menu. Press F1 to select the camera number. Select NDI in type. Select the switcher input in source. Turn Enable on. Open the Setup. EXTIF. Camera. Camera 1 to 16 menu. Press F1 to select the camera number. Press Ctrl on to enable camera control. You can also configure remote camera settings via Web GUI. Click EXTIF in the menu window to open the EXTIF menu. Click on the Camera tab. Click on the System tab. Use the joystick to control PTZ camera. Open the Setup. EXTIF. Camera. Camera 1 to 16 menu. Press F1 to select the camera number. Operate the joystick up, down, left, or right to control pan and tilt. Operate the rotary encoder to zoom in and out. To change the maximum speed, response curve, or camera movement direction when operating the joystick, use Setup. EXTIF. Camera. System menu page 3 and page 5 to make adjustments. You can register the camera position in the preset memory of the remote camera and recall the registered presets. Open Setup. EXTIF. Camera. Camera 1 to 16 menu page 4 and select the camera number with F1. Adjust the camera position with the joystick or rotary encoder. Turn F2 to select the preset number and press F2. A confirmation message appears. Press Enter to register the preset. Press F4 to select the speed at which the camera moves to the set position when the setting is recalled. If camera speed is selected, the camera operates at the speed set in the camera. Press F3 to select the preset number and press F3 to display the recall confirmation message. Press Enter to recall the preset. If direct recall is set to on in page 5, it will be recalled without displaying the confirmation message. Installing the NDI Camera app also allows you to input the camera image from your smartphone. Finally, we will enable one-button recall of registered camera presets using macro. First, register preset 1 to macro number 10. Press the macro button in the keypad section. Select page 1 in the menu shown on the display. Press Store on the keypad to start recording. Open Setup. EXT-IF. Camera 1 to 16. Menu page 4 and select the camera number with F1. Press F3 to select preset 1 and press F3 to recall it. Press the macro button in the keypad section again. Press the Store button to finish the recall of the macro. Press button 0 and register it to macro number 10. Select number 10 in the macro menu of the Web GUI and go to the Edit menu to confirm that camera preset 1, which has just been registered, has been registered in action. Follow the same procedure to register preset 2 to macro number 11. Two camera positions are now registered in macro. You can now switch between presets by pressing 10 and 11. By assigning the created macro to any button, you can recall presets without having to open the macro menu. Press Menu and open the Setup. Open the Setup panel. Macro Attach menu. Set the menu as follows. Set button select to auto transition. Macro number to 10. Mode to pre. And delay to 10. The auto button in the transition section executes macro 12, 10 frames before the auto transition is executed. A button for macro recall is also located on the web panel screen of the Web GUI and can be recalled from here.